Are you getting ready for your Band 7 Ward Manager NHS interview, or do you want to ace that interview one city? Then you are in the right place, because I'll be walking you through those interview questions and expert tips for you to get that job in just one go. If that's something you want to know more about, please don't go anywhere. Stick to this video to the end, because I'll be giving you some tips and tricks to ace that Band 7 NHS Ward Manager interview question. And right at the end of this video, you will not just be able to make a lasting impression on your interview, but you will be able to ace and get that job, because being a manager does not just encompass being a manager alone. So being a manager, you should be able to possess leadership and management skills. You should be able to understand clinical governance, finance management, service improvement and change, and also financial management. So for this interview questions, before you apply for that job, I believe you would have gone through the job description. You already know the trust you're going, you know their values, and you also understand what the job entails. On another video, I'll be giving you what's the role of a Band 7, a day in the life of a Band 7 manager in an acute assessment unit look. Some tips I want to give you at the beginning of this video and also at the end of the video. Do well to stay till the end of this video. The first thing is you want to know the trust values. Make your research, know the trust policies, because trust differs from each other despite they are all NHS. Please know the trust values, know the trust policies and what they entails, and also know more about the unit you're going to be a ward manager or that you will be working at. And secondly, you want to make sure that you are confident, you are always professional at all times. Keep your questions simple and straightforward using the STAR techniques. The STAR techniques is going to help you to make sure that you give your answer as it should be. You're not going to fidget, you're not going to be all around the place talking and not making any sense. With the STAR techniques, you will be able to help yourself and also ace that interview. And lastly, make sure that you understand the question. There is nothing wrong in asking the interviewer to repeat the question in order for you to get that question correctly. When you get the question correctly, you understand the question, it is very easy for you to answer. Don't be shy. Don't feel, oh, if I ask them to repeat the question, it's going to look as if I'm not ready, I'm not serious. No, it is never going to be like that. Always let the interviewer know that you did not get the question right or correctly, and they will always repeat that question for you. So for the purpose of this video, let's get right into the question. So the first thing you want to be able to know is what makes you a leader. Why do you want to go for the job? Because when you go for a Band 6 job, it is more of a leadership position, but for a Band 7 job, we're talking about management. We're talking about working hand in hand with the governing body of the unit or of the trust. Your broad knowledge of what leadership is all about is going to give you an edge towards understanding what the managerial skills, or rather what the interviewer are gonna ask you about. For myself, I always see myself as a transformational leader because it aligns well with my personality, and I know that that's the kind of leader I am. So first question I have here is, can you describe your leadership style and how it aligns with the NHS values? Can you describe your leadership style and how it aligns with the NHS values? So I believe in a transformational leadership style because I'm able to empower my team while ensuring high quality patient care. In my previous role, I noticed that staff morale was low due to high workload and lack of communication. I thereby introduced weekly audios with the help of the team where staff could share their ideas, more like a debriefing. The result of this was that it increased staff engagement, better teamwork, and improved patient care, because this aligns with the NHS values of trust, of respect, compassion, and teamwork, ensuring supportive and high-performing environment. That is a very good answer for this question. So whatever form of leadership style you believe in or you know, then you can be able to introduce that into this particular question. So the second question is more of clinical governance and patient safety, and the question is, how would you ensure high standard of care in the ward as a ward manager? So this question is not just about as a registered nurse, so it's a bit tricky you're not going to answer this as a band 5, you're going to answer this as a ward manager. So you being a ward manager, you are overseeing the unit, you're working hand in hand with everybody. So how are you going to ensure that high standard of care is rendered, or how are you going to ensure that high standard of care and patient safety as a ward manager? Ensuring high standard of care on the ward requires combination of strong leadership, clear protocols, and a patient-centered approach. I am going to ensure that staff training and competency are top level in the unit. I'm going to ensure effective communication, clear handovers, interdisciplinary collaboration between the units and also within the multidisciplinary team. I'm going to ensure safe staffing levels, ensure that the adequate nurse to patient ratio prevent burnout and allow staff to provide thorough and compassionate care. I'm going to make sure that there's evidence-based practice at every point in time, ensure patient-centered approach, carry out regular audits and feedback, strict adherence to hygiene protocols, hand washing, and the use of protective equipment, ensure that there's a robust incident reporting and learning culture in the unit. So this is a very good way, this is a very good answer for this question. So it encompasses almost the role of what a band 7 ward manager is. So at the end of the day, whatever your role is in the unit is geared towards ensuring patient safety. Everything we do revolves around patient safety. So with this question, you've been able to touch every aspect of your role as a ward manager. And that brings us to the next question. Tell us a time when you led a service improvement initiative. So don't worry, don't panic. You can answer this question in different ways. So the key point is service improvement initiative. You have the opportunity to give your example the way you want. So at the end of the day, it should be geared towards service improvement. So what is that thing that you have done, whether as a band 5, as a band 6, or as a band 7, that has led to service improvement? So for myself, the example I'm going to use, always make sure to remember the STAR techniques in everything, because it makes, always make sure you remember the STAR techniques, because it makes your answer more arranged. How do I put it now? It makes you give your you don't forget, you're not caught off guard, you don't forget things when you are able to use the STAR technique to answer the question. And this is how I'm going to answer this question. Tell us about a time when you led a service improvement initiative. I led the project to reduce patient discharge delays after gathering data within myself and also among my team. We realized that there were delays due to late communication between nurses and the discharge coordinator. We were able to introduce a daily discharge planning meeting where staff discussed upcoming discharges. As a result, we reduced discharge delays by 30%, freeing up beds faster and improving patient flow. And you know one thing, when it comes to being a manager, you need to ensure that there is free bed flow, especially in the acute assessment unit where we stay between the hospital and also the accident and emergency unit. You need to ensure that there's that bed flow. So as a ward manager, you need to keep on continually liaising with the bed management and also with the band 6s or the nurse in charge to ensure that free flow of beds. So just let them know that you know what you're saying. The thing is, one thing we always look at for interview, being myself as someone who has done several interviews for people, you're confident. You can say something that is not related to the question, but when you're very confident, it gives that examiner that yes, this person is willing to learn, this person can speak up. Because one thing is to have a ward manager that is very proactive and outspoken. By doing such, or by having such a person, you'll be able to allow for, there'll be room for improvement, and also the unit will be able to benefit from every good thing that comes within the trust. If you are not able to speak up for your unit, if you are not able to stand out for that unit, then your staff will not get the best they should get for that unit. So having said that, I'm going to give you a lot of questions that you can put answers and give examples in your own way. Like I said, when it comes to the band 7 interview questions, we're not just talking about leadership and management. If you know the 7 pillars of clinical governance, you will know that everything about the 7 pillars of clinical governance are parts of the things that can be asked during your band 7 interview question. Just be ready, know what you're doing, and know that you're applying for this job because you're ready for that role. You're not just doing it because every other person is doing it. You are ready to take on that responsibility, and at the end of the day, you'll be very, very glad you did. Another tips that I'm going to tell you is always go through your job description. It is very important. You cannot apply for a job without going through your job description, because from there you'll be able to get everything, or rather most things that you need for your interview. The next tips I'm going to give you is do your research about the unit. So the ward manager in an acute assessment unit and the ward manager in an intensive care unit, their role might be the same, or let me say might be 80% the same, but that 20% makes the difference. So you need to know what makes the acute assessment unit different from the intensive care unit. So your ability to know this difference is going to help you, is going to go a very long way, because in the acute assessment unit you might be a manager and your aim is to ensure you carry your staff along and ensure that it's free flow, bed flow and everything. But in the ICU, bed flow is actually not going to be a thing for you at that point in time, because we really don't have enough beds in the ICU, and there's always going to be a patient that needs those bed space. So your ability to know what that job entails is going to really, really help you. And if you have watched this interview to this point, I'm going to give you some questions that will also help you for your interview question. The first one is the leadership and management questions. Here you have questions like, how do you manage and motivate team, especially in high pressure environment? And also you also have questions like, can you give an example of a time when you handled a difficult situation or a clinical incident in your unit? Then the next questions are going to come from clinical governance and patient safety. Here you can see question like, what would you do if a serious incident occur on your ward, and can you describe a time when you identified a risk to patient safety and how you manage it? We also have questions on service improvement and change management. You can have something like, how would you handle resistance to change from your team? And also, the world is experiencing increased patient demand. How would you manage resources effectively? Then we have questions on financial and operational management. Here we're talking about, what strategies will you use to reduce staff sickness and improve retention? How do you manage bed capacity and patient flow in your ward? Then for communication, interpersonal skill, how do you support the emotional well-being of your staff member? And can you describe a time when you handled a complaint from a patient or a relative? Then we also have the last questions, which can be about equality, diversity and inclusion. Can you give an example of how you manage or handle the situation involving discrimination or inequality? How do you promote a culture of inclusivity and respect within your team? These are also questions that you can explore more and also give your answer before the interview. And tell yourself you can do it afraid. There's nothing that has never been done before. Someone is going to do it again and over again. So please take your time to know that interview question. If there's any question you have, please put them in the comment section and I'll be able to answer them, give you practical answers in the comment section. And if there's any other video you want me to do more about, please let me know in the comment section and I will be able to do them. Please, if you like this kind of content, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post any video. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. Thank you so much guys for watching this video till this point. I wish you good luck on your interview and I pray and wish you well that you are able to ace that interview and get that job. Being a band 7 word manager can be overwhelming at first, but when you get into the job, you will find out that, oh, it's not as difficult as you think. I've been in my role for 2 years now, and I must say I keep learning every day. You can't just learn everything at once. There's always new things. Policies are changing, and new staff are coming in, staff are leaving, so there's a lot to learn from this role. I pray that you get this job and also be able to put your and also be able to contribute your quota to the NHS. And do not forget that here on T-Space we've got a lot of videos on how to pass your band 6 interviews, and also if you want to know more about how I moved from band 5 to a band 7 manager that I'm currently in now, I've got that video. I'm going to link it in somewhere in this video. And do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post any video. Give me a thumbs up, comment, like, share, and thank you so much, guys. Do not forget that T-Space is a safe space for her, and I will see you in my next video. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to stick to the channel, because in my next video I'll be telling you what a day in the life of a word manager looks like, what to expect, and the reality of being a word manager. Thank you so much, guys, and do not forget that T-Space is a safe space for her. Bye.